Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, helloey, my name is Loey, and it has been a little bit too long since you and I sunk our teeth into a scary paranormal TikTok account, since we've had like a big video, you know what I mean? And today we're gonna be taking a look at 56 paranormal TikToks from the scary and the haunted side of TikTok. Specifically today, we're gonna be taking a look at the Dustinleefrazier account. You might be familiar with Dustin already because I have featured him on the scary side of TikTok before, or you may have just seen him go viral on your own, but Dustin is one of the top paranormal creators that I follow at the moment. His paranormal content started going viral in February of this year. And while I have talked about a few sporadic videos, I have not given you the full layout, the full timeline of this haunting, with kind of everything put into context. Now, we're gonna be taking a look today at the first half of the 56 TikToks that I am going to share with you. The second part of this will be up a bit later this week. That one has more TikToks, but this one has a little bit more context and some information straight from the poster himself that is exclusive to this video and to our channel. Well, I mean, it's his information, but you know what I mean. He gave me a little interview. I'm so professional, you guys. Dustin's actually a friend of mine. I really love his account, so go check him out. Before we get into today's video, it is very kindly supported by a sponsor that I am so excited to tell you guys about, and that is Nurex. Nurex is a digital healthcare platform that makes it easy to get the expert healthcare you deserve at every step of your journey. If you're a long-term watcher of my channel, you know that I have struggled with cystic acne the majority of my life. So you might have seen one of my earliest viral videos where I covered up my acne with makeup. But if you are a fellow acne sufferer, or if you just have any skin concerns, Nurex is here to help. Nurex offers over 50 clinically proven dermatologist trusted treatments for acne, anti-aging, and melasma that work faster and are more effective than over-the-counter products. And with Nurex, you don't even have to get off the couch, baby. You can do all of this from the comfort of your own home. They also offer 24/7 care and support, so you'll have access to ask the questions that you need to at any time. And patients get a personalized treatment plan as well as unlimited messaging to Nurex's dermatology expert providers and their care team. Thank you very much to Nurex for sponsoring this video. Taking control of your health starts here. Head on over to nurex.com/LoeyLane or click the link in my description box down below to get started on your dermatology journey today. Once again, that is nurx.com/LoeyLane to get started with Nurex today. Thank you very much to Nurex for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back into it. But when we take a step back from Dustin's account, a step back from just scary videos posted from the Appalachian Mountains, if you're not familiar with Dustin, quick history lesson for you. He started going viral a bit earlier this year, I think around February, for videos he posted of what appeared to be mimics in the Appalachian Mountains where he lives. Now, this was around a time where I think mimic videos were starting to go very viral. It felt like there was like a solid 2.5 months where every single video, every paranormal video I saw anyways, was mimics. But what I find interesting with this is, again, when we kind of take a step back and look at this entire account as a whole, I believe it can be divided into 3 separate parts. And I believe that because for the majority of his paranormal videos, Dustin has put them into one of 3 playlists. Those main playlists being The Mimic and Hotel Haunt, with a shorter mini-series called The Closet Door that sort of acted as a buffer between them. So let's start where it all began, with the very first video of The Mimic. Now, I literally Googled mimics paranormal because I was like, I should give you a proper definition. And why are my TikToks the ones that come up first? Sorry, I'm a little hyper tonight. I had coffee at 7 p.m. I don't know if there's necessarily a proper definition, but the way that mimics have always been described to me, the way that I've always experienced them in my own paranormal experiences, as well as just what I've seen in others, mimics have the ability to mimic something. Think a loved one, somebody you would know, somebody you would trust, yourself. You could hear your own name calling out to you. Sometimes it's a substitute word for a word that is otherwise known as flesh pedestrian. Y'all know I don't say that word because we don't call them in here in this house. And I think that might have been where the use of mimic sort of became popularized online. And so for our poster Dustin, it all seemingly begins on his TikTok account with this video titled, "Sometimes I Hate Living in the Appalachian Mountains, Especially at Night." Those were not Dustin's dogs. Dustin doesn't know where those dogs came from. And while this could have been explained away somewhat easily, a lot of people really resonated with this video and found it creepy. And it wound up being the first of a long series of TikToks focused on a mimic that began to haunt Dustin. The next video is titled "Sounds Outside Again in the Appalachian Mountains."
So it's 2 o'clock in the morning again, and there's a security light right over here, and it just was on and then it went off. Oh, it just came on again.
Now, both of those pretty creepy, right? But by the third video is where I think that things really start to change course for the truly terrifying. The iconic trail mix video. Every single time one of you guys tags me in this video, I'm like, ah, the Dustin trail mix video. What a classic. Dustin is responding to a comment that says, "Baby, if you heard it, no you didn't. Close those blinds and put some headphones in response to his previous video in which he heard what a lot of people thought was a mimic. However, in this video, for the first time, Dustin captures what he believes is this entity talking.
I was just trying to get me some trail mix, and
And to me, what this sounds like is that it's mimicking his voice, that it's talking to him as himself, trying to lure him into a false sense of safety to open the door. Following this, this video went very, very, very viral. People were really freaked out. Dustin posted an update, and this update really was just to kind of give us a lay of the land after the last video. And I think that this is helpful for reference as we continue throughout the Mimic series.
so it's daylight now, so I feel a little bit safe, but I'm going to give y'all kind of a quick little like tour, so you can kind of get like the layout of everything. So, wood pile right outside the door. Creepy, weird little like shed thing. I don't really know what it's used for. My brother-in-law just has always had it. I don't know. Another wood thing. Broken down car. Their property is backed up to this like hill. Some other two creepy old buildings. Don't know what goes on in them. But yeah. And then let's see here. Private property, no trespassing. There's a creek like right over here. So I don't think it's like a coyote or anything like that, because right over here on the other side of this hill, there's like a bunch of goats. And then I'll show you in a second. But my sister has like chickens, okay? But also like there's like mountains, just like crazily mountains. And chickens.
But following this is another terrifying video titled "It Tried to Get Inside Tonight," in which we hear, of course, this entity trying to get inside, but we also see something.
Hello?
Now, in looking at this shadow, it kind of just looks like a person, like somebody in a large hoodie or something like that, but they of course disappear and run off as soon as Dustin tries to open the door. Now, Dustin, my beloved, the #1 rule is don't open the door. Don't open the door. Don't open the door because you can let it inside. It tried to get inside, sure, but you never know what you're letting in when you have a paranormal experience outside and you willingly open the door to it. And seemingly it got worse from here, with this video in which Dustin hears what sounds like something on the roof.
There's something on the roof.
And then we have this video in which the mimic is trying to convince Dustin to let it in. And luckily he's learned his lesson from last time, but the video gets pretty weird.
Everybody last time got fucking pissed at me.
Open the door.
Because I opened the door, so I'm not going to do that this time, but it's back.
Please help me.
Now, you might be wondering, how does one get this kind of attachment? I mean, whatever this is, it is following Dustin quite literally day and night. And as we'll see later, from location to location, this thing is just super attached to him. And if you wonder, where might he have gotten a paranormal attachment like this? There are videos like this one, a flashback to one of his very first encounters, well, what he believes is one of his very first encounters with the mimic, titled "My Car Broke Down in Appalachia and This Happened."
This. So, like, if you can, I don't know if you can see it. What the f is that? What the f is that?
But that's not all, of course, because he also explores abandoned and haunted places. One of them in which he has paranormal experiences is this abandoned marina that ends up having some pretty creepy paranormal activity in it and a very cute beaver.
Guys, literally a few months ago, this was like a marina. It had like water like up. Why is there a tractor now? Like this was literally all full, and there were like boats in here. What?
Whatever, that first stall right there.
Uh-huh. Right here? What?
Oh
Did you hear that? Like, here's some more. I know, she kind of looked rickety. I thought I heard, like, footsteps or something. We gotta go. We gotta go. Go, go. Oh my God.
And this creature continues to try to lure him in, continues to try to get him to open the door. I remember this video, It Won't Stop, being one of the ones that scared me the most the first time I saw it, just because of Dustin's own reaction. And it doesn't just stop at the mimic trying to speak to Dustin. There's also this video, I live in the woods in Appalachia. WTF is this noise? And I just want to say my pets were with me when I was playing this video and they went crazy. Like, they hated this sound.
Okay, so I just got home. It's freaking 5 o'clock in the morning. I was out with my friend and I came. Oh, you don't have to run away, kitty. To like feed the cats and stuff. But do you hear the sound in the woods? Did it stop? What the f? It stopped. I took a video just a second ago and I sent it to my friend. I'm gonna insert it here, I guess, because I don't know what it was. And it was super f***ing creepy. What the f***?
And now, for the very first time, we are going over to Dustin's workplace, the haunted hotel. And you might be saying to yourself, Loey, aren't we focusing on the mimic in this video? Isn't the hotel next video? And yes it is, friends. But I think that really it's more of a symbolic change than anything. When the playlist changed over from the mimic, the primary one that he was posting to the haunted hotel series. As in, I'm not entirely sure that at the beginning this was meant to be 2 separate hauntings. I'm still not sure that it is meant to be 2 separate hauntings. And I'll talk a bit more about my theories as we go on, specifically with this account and with this series. But in this video, Dustin is working late night at a hotel when suddenly an alarm clock goes off in the kitchen on its own. And what's interesting is that this is not the only time that this will happen with this very alarm clock in the kitchen.
So, I'm bringing coffee back here because I was going to dump it out. And the lights are on now. Oh, and the door is open. Okay. Okay. That's weird. What the f is happening? Okay. Oh, hello, Benson Boone. Anyways, weird.
I remember going over the next video in a haunted side of TikTok where I wasn't entirely sure why Dustin was not at home any longer. I wasn't super familiar with his account. But now I look at this video and it's a video of something whistling, which is super spooky. You don't listen to anything whistling at night. You don't whistle back. You run for the hills. Actually, the other night, it was like 3 in the morning. I haven't talked about this yet because it genuinely scared me. It was 3 something in the morning. I was outside with the dogs, just letting them go potty. And I'm not gonna repeat it because it is nighttime as I'm filming this, but something whistled. And I live in Los Angeles. Like, I don't think that they're here, but I was so scared. I was like, we're going inside, let's go. Anyways, in this video, Dustin hears something whistling outside of his workplace. Around this point, TikTok is doing what TikTok does, and they say, get cameras. Like, get cameras. Why can't we see the mimic? Get cameras. And as a man for the people, Dustin posts the following video saying that he indeed got a camera and got something pretty creepy on footage.
People have been saying, I can't see, hold on. People have been saying for me to get cameras for the outside of my door. I did. Like, it seems like it's just getting worse, and I don't even want to, like, go home. I will insert the footage so you can see what I'm talking about, but I don't know what my, like, next steps are. Yeah. Open the door. So I just got home from work, and I found this on the ground. And I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like it is busted.
Spooky scary, right? And when I talked about this video, I think I told you guys that for me, it was like my sign that, okay, this is very clearly some kind of series, some kind of storytelling, which Dustin doesn't deny. He doesn't claim this series to be real. And in fact, he was forced to come out and say as much to clarify, like, these videos aren't real, they're just for entertainment, when he was doxxed a couple of months ago, which is really screwed up. Like, please don't dox people over scary TikToks. Like, I cannot imagine a lamer thing to do. Keep that in mind as you watch the following video, which is the second attempt at getting up cameras.
Okay, so people have been saying for me to stick a camera on the inside of the window and on the door. I have these old phones, okay, from, like, they were, like, back whenever I first got, like, phones, you know, and I will put one, like, here at the window, and then the other one, I'm gonna hide it outside, pointed to the door, and I wiped it completely, like, both of them's wiped clean, and it's not gonna record all night, I know that, but hopefully, fingers crossed, if I just start recording, I'm about to like lay down and go to sleep. If I start recording, it'll at least record until the memory is full. And then I can just like, you know, scrub through the footage later and just see what happens, right? So let's set up these cameras. Okay, here's one. I need this. So it's gonna be like this. Okay. And then I'm gonna start recording on both of them, and we'll see if we catch anything.
Open the door. Open the door. Hey. Hey. I can see you. Open the door. Open the door. Hello.
Between these two videos, a video I thought was pretty creepy was one titled Screaming in the Woods.
I just woke up and everybody's asleep in the house and stuff, you know. And someone is screaming outside.
And while these paranormal videos might be for entertainment purposes, that doesn't mean that Dustin has not had paranormal experiences. In response to me asking the question, in your opinion, if you have one, do you think what's happening with you is paranormal, real people / occult, or somewhere in the middle? The cult aspect of it sort of comes into play in the hotel, like that whole playlist, so we won't touch on that as much now. But Dustin had to say, I believe it's tied to this experience from my childhood, so I guess you could say paranormal / supernatural. I've always felt like I was very empathetic, and have predicted things in my dreams before, and have always been open to the paranormal from as long as I remember. I always had issues with sleep. I would sleepwalk, and many times my parents would find me walking in circles around the coffee table, screaming in the middle of the night. I had bad night terrors too, that would make me think someone was watching me from the closet. But my earliest and most freaky experience would have to be with the hag, because I asked Dustin, what is your earliest paranormal experience? It's one of my favorite questions to ask people. From what I remember, I always had this eerie feeling when I looked into my mom's bedroom. It was at the end of a long dark hallway, and I felt like I could feel this entity looking back at me. I always visualized her as a frail old woman that was hunched over with her hands curled into claws. And I always thought if I looked too long, she would shuffle out and grab me. The part that gets super creepy about the hag is that one night, as I was older, my sister and I were grabbing some food and talking about things that scared us as kids. And I started talking about the hag. Then my sister finished describing her. Somehow she had seen her too. We couldn't explain it because we wouldn't have had the same dream, and Mom and Dad said the house didn't have anyone who died there before. So who or what is the hag? And the hag will come up a bit more in part 2 when we dive into the second half of the videos from this series, because Dustin does see something that looks a lot like the hag, but more on her later. Back to the TikToks for now. We have a couple of videos from Dustin's workplace, aka the hotel, which will be the primary focus of our haunt later, but we have a couple of experiences there to talk about now, including this one where Dustin heard someone say "bless you" after he sneezed, but he was alone at work.
Okay, hello TikTok. So I'm gonna do a quick little like lunch haul, I guess. I haven't done one in a minute, but it seems like the only way I can like maintain, you know, oh, Jesus Christ. Anyways, hello? Hello?
Another video in which he heard laughing coming from the kitchen.
Okay. Hello, guys. So, quick little lunch haul for tonight. I have a broccoli salad, and then my sister gave me like a little handful of like Dove chocolate. I even if y'all didn't hear that, I am
Another experience in which he caught something on camera. A man standing outside his workplace that could be seen in one camera and could be seen outside, but not in another one of the security cameras. Was it paranormal? Was it a real guy? Was it a camera glitch? I don't know.
Guys, it's okay. So you can see, right? But then on this camera, there's nothing. He's just been standing there. I have the door locked, but like, what the f? He's just been standing there, like with his back towards me.
And as you can see, we're starting to get more and more videos from the hotel. And from this point on, the mimic videos that come from Dustin's house start to lessen in frequency. You'll still see some of them in part 2, but they're not as common. However, we start to see things around and in Dustin's house that are pretty unnerving. In this video, in which Dustin was just getting a snack, essentially he found something super bizarre in his wall that I'll let him describe to you because I would not know what this was in any way, but it looks like a rusty knife.
So, I wanted a snack. Okay, so I got goldfish. I heard something outside. So I thought that the door was locked this whole time. Like, it wasn't, though. I yank it back. Whenever I do, it hits the wall, okay? And whenever it hits the wall, I cause some damage. So I flung the door back, right? And, well, started, like, reaching down in the hole to get the pieces so I could, like, you know, plaster it up or caulk it up or... Explain to me why this was in the wall. Like, what the hold on. Let me go in here so I can, like, lay it down and, like, flip the camera around. Okay, but, so, it's a, like, railroad, like, you know, spike, but it, like, it's flattened, into like a knife.
And now we have the final video from the Mimic playlist that I will be sharing with you today. I don't want you to take this as this is where the playlist ends. Again, we have more of these videos in part 2. But I kind of think, personally, that there is a clear line between part 1 and part 2 of this story, with the closet door being directly in the middle. So to cap off part 1, we have this TikTok in which Dustin sees what appears to be an animal skull on his property.
Girl.
But where I think this is fascinating is Dustin gives us, very rarely throughout this series, a couple of different messages that we can find in the captions of the video. And the caption for this one didn't have an automatic translate feature on TikTok, and I didn't know what language it was. Thanks to my friend Susu, I found out that it was actually Scottish Gaelic, and I think that the rough translation of this, forgive me if I'm incorrect here, is they go weak, but they are strong. And considering the video that comes directly after this, the video that we will talk about first in the next video, I think that message is interesting. You might be noticing we're wrapping up with the Mimic playlist here, but we probably have a bit of a time left on this video. And that's because we are gonna be taking a step away from the Mimic, from this entity specifically that has been following Dustin, to talk about a different haunting that we're gonna call the closet door. The closet door has a different feeling than any of these other videos. I think it's great as a buffer between kind of like part 1 and part 2. The technical part 2, I guess, between part 1 and part 3. I don't know, I'm probably making this more complicated than it needs to be. I love to put things in boxes. It all starts out with this video, captioned, "So our friend got a new apartment." And there are creepy things happening with this apartment from the jump. We have a malfunctioning light bulb that flickers and is very, very intense. I might think that that's an electrical issue. You maybe should get your landlord out to look at that. However, there are also things like a vintage safe left behind. But the most alarming thing is that there is a door that is nailed shut from the other side. And ooh, buddy, I'm telling you, every time there is a secret door, something spooky is happening.
Oh God. That's what I'm saying.
Who has the key? It don't work
It's
out.
not the one?
No, it
Well,
goes in.
shit.
Just don't work.
Huh.
Yeah,
Well,
Maybe she changed the locks.
maybe, but it's real similar.
Now in part 2, they get this closet door open. And throughout this video, you can hear what sounds like something whispering. This is a common theme in Dustin's videos. It probably happened earlier and I didn't even point it out because it happens so frequently. Something will whisper back to him that he seemingly can only hear on video.
I'm scared someone else want to do this. It just does nothing. I know it's really nerve-wracking.
I can't.
Put some tape over, won't nobody know nothing. Why are we going to hear that it's going to be absolutely nothing? One's in the corner safely, my hands are sweating.
We were finally able to push it enough to get my phone inside to take some photos. So they didn't actually get in, but they took these photos. This one being the creepiest. And it ends with, our friend thinks we unleashed something because things got worse. To which a kind commenter said, what do you mean? What do you mean things got worse? How did they get worse from where we were at? And Dustin shows us in the final video of the closet door.
What the f?
That's so cute. The charming features of my home.
No, it's them ugly ass neighbors been stomping around so much they've knocked something loose. Cause the one bulb went out.
Oh, probably.
There was 2 bulbs, so now it's probably fucked.
So, we're pretty sure he has a home invader.
Is this y'all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's mine. I literally, whenever you text us, I was like, I gotta take my son to go. So, apparently,
Came home and like this right here, like that wasn't there before. These things weren't here before. They're not his. Like this isn't his. These aren't his. Like these were not his sheets. He had this outside and like he was painting it, and then it was brought back inside and his TV's on it, and then like the light keeps on like flickering. I don't know, it's weird. I'm scared.
That video ends with he ended up breaking his lease and moving out because the activity got so bad. And that is the closet door, which ends kind of part 1 and part 2 of this series. In part 3, we'll be going into the longer section of this haunting. I think there's 30 plus videos in the next video, and we'll just talk a bit more about some lore around this, about this series as a whole. But for the end of this video, I want to leave off on the answer that Dustin gave me to a question that I asked. That being, so many people say that the figures in your content are total nightmare fuel, and that your story is scarier than a lot of huge blockbuster movies these days. We see a lot of those figures in part 2. But would you ever turn your experiences into a book, a show, or a movie? To which he responded, people already think that this is some kind of marketing ploy for a book because they saw I wrote a book in the past, which was a queer slasher, not paranormal, which love that. I need to read it. I haven't sat down to write anything because I don't have time with school and work. I am in film school though, because I've always loved movies, and I would love to turn this curse into something people could enjoy someday. And that is where I'm gonna leave you, friends. I would love it if you would go and check out Dustin's channel. He is posting all sorts of paranormal content. He's also on YouTube as well, so I will have his socials linked down below. I absolutely love his account. I love Dustin as a person. I think he is so incredible. I love his content. And I hope you guys enjoyed the first part of our deep dive into the Dustinleefrazier account. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. A special thank you to my subscribers who are members of the channel. If you want to join the channel memberships and get extra members exclusive content, like members only videos and polls to help me decide on future video topics, members only updates, so much more, you can click that little join button somewhere around the screen. We would love to have you. An extra special thank you to my VIP loves for their continued and generous support of the channel. I love and appreciate you all very, very much. I love you all very much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!